the combination of Steph and then the mystery that is what Jimmy Butler will be in the playoffs, they're that combo and more Steph, I don't want to see it all. That's the team and particularly the player that push them as far away down the line as possible. And then if we get to them, we get to them. Who would you least like to see on the other side? I feel like history tells you, and really his current play, and just look at last night, what he did in LA. Steph Curry is top of my power rankings of guys I don't want to see at Toyota Center in a meaningful moment, in a meaningful game. Keep that guy as far away from the Rockets as possible. Look, there may be a time where you have to face him. I understand that. The playoffs at some point, you're going to have to face someone you don't want to face. But him, particularly in a first-round series, out. I'm glad they're playing well because I don't want him anywhere near a series where him and Draymond and Jimmy Butler can, oh, by the way, they're 19-2 when those guys are on the court at the same time together, 12-0 with that starting lineup they rolled out there yesterday. Keep them away. Brian Windhorst said something you might consider disrespectful. He said the Warriors are the true number 2 seed considering how they played since their new team has come together. By the way, the Rockets have played pretty well lately as well, but that number of 19-2 when they're on the floor, keep them away. So the combination of Steph and then the mystery that is what Jimmy Butler will be in the playoffs, they're that combo and more Steph, I don't want to see it all. That's the team and particularly the player that push them as far away down the line as possible. And then if we get to them, we get to them.
Yeah, that's number one on my list too. It's Steph Curry. Like he's still so nasty, and the Jimmy stuff, it feels like it's just revitalized his career at this point. So and it's crazy how stacked the West is right now. I mean, between Denver through the Clippers, like they're within like 2.5 games of each other. That's the 3 seed to the 8 seed. So you have no idea who the Rockets are going to play. So like, it's Steph Curry's number one. It's not even close.
Yeah, I don't think it's 1 then 2. It's 1 then 2 is way down, and then 2 and 3 are together. 1 is way by itself. You know, I was watching Kawhi a little bit. I got tricked into watching Kawhi highlights. Popped up on my feed, and I go, he looks really good. Right now, the question always is, will he play? Will he be healthy? And can he make it through a series? But as far as the Golden State, Memphis, T-Wolves grouping and throw the Clippers in, I guess you want to throw the Lakers in as well. Kawhi's the top. Kawhi's second. The way he's played, his ability to be clearly the best player on the floor. I don't know. I just watched him in a 3-minute highlight, and then I remembered, oh, yeah, that guy at his best can be far and away the best player on offense and defense in a series. The volatility of James Harden is an interesting part of that equation because while he's not counted on as much, he's still a guy who can be a facilitator. And now it's a couple years ago now, but he won a couple games for the Sixers against the Celtics. As I said, years ago now. It's before he called Daryl Morey a liar. But when he's focused, he can give you those performances. Of course, then he can go 2 for 15 and pretend like it's not his fault. So it's the give and take of James. But I'm going to throw Kawhi as my second. If I'm excluding the Nuggets, because of course if it's Jokic, then. But I don't think they're playing the Nuggets.
But then
in the
again,
first round.
I mean, we just saw what Jokic just dropped 61
Yeah,
and they lost.
If they were playing, I will shoot the Nuggets some bail. Jamal Murray didn't play in that game, and Michael Porter Jr. didn't play, and also Russell Westbrook did play, which cost them. So there are a couple of things that were going against them in that one. But as far as realistic matchups, the Clippers are second because Kawhi is second because he can far and away be a best player in the series and just take over on both ends of the floor. And I think the Clippers will slow that game down. They'll play half-court basketball. It's something I'm not sure the Rockets can be proficient at over a 7-game series. So I'll go Kawhi as my second player that I don't want to face in these rankings. Now, I think I got to go to Minnesota for my third. And Edwards is that dude. He's had good games against the Rockets, a couple where he took over in the fourth quarter, and then in one game he shot them out of a game against the Rockets where he He made a three, and he thought, okay, I've had some success against the team in the fourth quarter. I'm going to keep chucking up jumpers. It didn't work out well, and the Rockets were able to win. But I seen him take a team to the Western Conference Finals just last year. They're a different team now. I think the Wolves are going to get a taste, and particularly their fans, of Julius Randle in the playoffs. I'm not sure they're going to like it, but that's going to be part of the equation for them. But when we talk about great players who can be volatile and explosive and can put up 35, get to the free throw line, knock down threes, and then be engaged on defense and be the lead guy on defense too, I would throw Anthony Edwards in there as well. I'm less fearful of the rest of that roster. The McDaniels, the Jaden McDaniels of the world, the Nikhil Alexander Walkers, nice offenders, but I ain't afraid of those guys. I think they're going to miss Cat more than they thought, but the whole Cat thing was they had to trade him for financial reasons. I think that'll be a big missing piece for them. I think their ceiling's lower than it was last year without Cat, but for a first-round series, a guy who can come in and win 2 games on the road for a team that the Rockets are hosting, Ant's third on my list, I think. So where are we at? We got Steph, Kawhi, Ant, and I guess that leaves us with the Grizzlies.
See, I think you gotta include the Lakers, man.
There's a real possibility that they play them. Sure,
2 of their next 3 games are against the Thunder. So they play the Trailblazers, and then I think it's the Trailblazers, and then they play the Pelicans, and then the next 2 games after that on Sunday and Tuesday are against the Thunder. And it's just like it feels like it's so close. It feels like they could easily slide. I don't know what everyone else's schedule looks like, but if you lose those games, and then they play the Rockets right after, so. The Rockets could unfortunately push the Lakers into territory, and that's where if Luka has to play here in the first round, he's number 2 on my list. If we're including the Lakers, I put him ahead of Kawhi. I know he still looks kind of chubby and doesn't look like full Luka, but we've seen him drag the Mavericks to the Western Conference Finals a couple of years ago, and then to the finals last year. He's so nasty that I would hate to see him come to town.
No, I get it. It's not a bad spot to put him. For whatever reason, I'm less bothered by him, this current version of him. Now, we're about a week and a half, 2 weeks away from the playoffs. So I'm not saying he's got time to get in great shape, but maybe he'll turn some things around. But to your point about the schedule, the 2 OKC games on the road back-to-back, well, at least back-to-back games, there's a day off in between. Then he has to go to Dallas. So that'll be an emotional thing for him. That is the second night of a back-to-back. They go to OKC and then they go to Dallas. So that'll be an interesting dynamic for him. And then they host the Lakers host the Rockets, and then they have Portland. So that's a schedule that says you could lose 4. You could lose those 4 between the New Orleans and Portland game. You could lose those 4, and then where are the Lakers are likely in the play-in. So for whatever reason, I'm going to put either LeBron or Luka, whoever you want to choose, behind Ant, Kawhi, and Steph. And then Ja was great last night. Of course, the finger gun thing will take precedent. And we only saw it a couple times on TV, but people who were in the arena said he was doing it the entire game.
That's
like
crazy.
He was doing the single one, he was doing shooting letting it loose, letting the chopper loose in the entire crowd several times. It was a constant thing anytime he did something. We just didn't catch it all. So the volatility of the Grizzlies is nuts for them. I'm not fearful of them, but Ja was great in the second half when he wasn't in foul trouble, and then he took over in the final possession. He got the switch on the big and knocked down a shot, bounced a couple times, and they win that game. So there is him too. When he's at his best, he can be someone that's unstoppable. I just don't fear that Grizzlies team because of all the issues they've had with the firing of the coach and the losing streak. And look, he was great last night. He was playing a team that was pretty hot, but they did go on the road against a team who was on the second night of a back-to-back, and at the time was still 6 games under 500, as well as the Heat have been playing. That's a team that was missing a couple starters, but the Grizz found a way to win that one. So